Hey everyone, welcome to 112 Shelf. Today I am reviewing the Marvel Select Diamond Select Immortal Hulk figure. Now, I like the Hulk as much as the next person, but he's not essential to me. But I know he's essential to Avengers lineups and everything like that. And I do have the previous Hulks compared to this guy, and I usually don't like to double dip on figures, especially if they're the same character, especially if they're essential, but to me, they're not my personal favorite. But I knew I had to get this Hulk because the bigger the Hulk is, the better he looks beside other characters in your collection. Okay, so this Hulk is awesome, and I usually don't get Diamond Select Marvel figures that much because they don't scale very well with Marvel Legends figures. Marvel Legends being your 6-inch scale, these Marvel Select are a little bit higher, about 7.5 inches, and of course, if you're the Hulk, it's as big as you can get. But characters like the Hulk, it doesn't really matter, right? Because they're supposed to be gargantuan. So I have a couple of Marvel Legends figures, Marvel Select figures in my collection, like Mephisto and the Watcher, and I have a version of Thor because I like when Thor towers over other people. So I knew this Hulk was going to be essential for me to get. I had him pre-ordered on Amazon like back in September. He was going to ship maybe by next week I'd get him, but I saw him at my local comic book store, canceled my Amazon order, and got him. So let's take a look at this guy in all of his glory. Now, if we look at the detail here on his face, it's just awesome. That angry yelling Hulk with his perfect teeth, perfect white teeth. His jaw's not articulated. You can see inside his mouth, but his eyes are perfect as well. Kind of look like crazy dead eyes to me. The head sculpt is just awesome. I dig it a lot. I like that screaming maniac Hulk look in his eyes, right? The shade of green is awesome too. Let me focus that up for you guys right here. Has some little shadings here where his muscles are and everything. So it is a really fun, detailed figure. Marvel Select does have a lot of detail. The thing they lack, though, most of the time is articulation, but this doesn't seem to be a real problem with this Hulk at all. The articulation is probably on par with the latest Hulk 2-pack that we got from Hasbro Marvel Legends. It's not as good, but it's around the same ballpark, and for the size, I would definitely get this one. So let's go ahead and look at the articulation. His head could look this much up, not very much up at all because of the hair in the back, and this much down, and of course his head can move all around. No ab crunch, but he does have an upper diaphragm, pivot, and he could go this much up, this much down. Of course, he could move all around here, and his waist doesn't have any kind of cut on it, which is okay if you could move the front part of his body. Okay, let's go ahead and look at his arms. He can move this arm all the way up. He has an upper bicep swivel, which is kind of hard to move right now, but you get the picture. He has single jointed elbows, which is okay because so does the Marvel Legends one in the 2-pack, so it only goes up that much. He has no forearm swivel, but of course his hands have that movement up, that movement down, and of course all around. All right, let's get into his feet. He can move this much out. He can almost do a split. Very good for a big guy. He has an upper thigh cut. He has double jointed knees, which is awesome for a figure this big. And what surprised me about Diamond Select is look at this ankle rocker, right? For such big Hulk feet, you can move it all around almost like a legend, right? And down and up, right? So the articulation comparable to other Marvel Select figures is pretty good. I am very impressed about the articulation about this figure, but that's not why I bought this figure. I bought this figure because the bigger the Hulk, the better your display. So let's go ahead and compare him to other Hulks, at least in size, to my collection, okay? So let's move him over here. Let's go to one of the OG Marvel Legend Hulks, the 2-pack variant Hulk. I loved this Hulk growing up, but as you could see, technology has not been his best friend, okay? So this Hulk is smaller in size, no ab crunch, Yeah, it's still a great Hulk. I hold on to him probably for nostalgic reasons. And because back then, this Hulk was amazing. Right? Now let's look at the Marvel Legends, the most recent 2-pack Hulk with this. All right? So here is the size comparison. And of course, you could see the Marvel Select Hulk is going to be way bigger than the Marvel Legends Hulk, right? On top of that, I would say, even though they have similar styles, this Hulk just looks way cooler. I mean, unless you're going for a more comic book look and those poppy colors that pop out to you, yeah, this Hulk is amazing. But for me, I got to go with this one 100%. And of course, this Hulk has some things going on for it that the Marvel Select one doesn't, like this lab coat that he ripped off. Now, I've always had a problem how the Hulk, how his clothes stretch out. The pants are fine, whatever, but this just looks like too big. So what I've been doing for my display since I got this Marvel Select Hulk is I get the piece of cloth from the Marvel Legends one and I put it on here and it looks so much smaller. And I think it looks so much cooler on this Hulk rather than this Hulk. Now, another thing this Hulk has going on for it is going to be the butterfly joints. As you could see, you could move his arms back a lot, okay? Which is good if you're doing like scenes like, I don't know, he's jumping at someone or anything like that. And butterfly joints are amazing, and Hasbro kicked it out of the park with this, but I don't know. I would rather not have the butterfly joints, me personally, and have a Hulk like this. Right? So you could see the size comparison here with this Hulk. I showed you with the old Two-Face Hulk, or 2-pack Hulk, not Two-Face Hulk, and the armless Joe Fixit. So this Hulk is going to tower over each one of these guys every day of the week. All right? Let's look at the accessories that this Marvel Select Hulk comes with. Right? So he has versions of each hand. You could have him with 2 fists, or you could have him with 2 open hands. And then he also comes with this cyborg kind of head, if I could pop on, like that, right? Pretty cool looking head sculpt. Let's look at it up close. Really cool looking metal. Really cool paint apps here. You can see how this is exposed on his upper gums and lower gums and the teeth. And this is more like a Two-Face Hulk, like I said before, right? Let's look at something else that someone was curious about. If we take the head from the Marvel Legends Hulk and put it on this Hulk, and it does actually fit on the peg, right? I mean, it looks a little silly, but if you do like your Hulks being exaggerated, where it looks like more muscular compared to a little head, then this kind of works if you're into that stuff, right? Let's go ahead and take that out because it does look a little weird to me. Let's put this big head back on. And let's do some size comparisons with other figures in my collection, all right? So let's go with our standard Marvel Legend. Here I have Daredevil hanging out in my diorama I just made. Still doing some finishing touches on that, but it should be done pretty soon. Let's look at him next to your standard Marvel Legend. And this looks awesome. I love the size, guys. I don't know about you guys, but the bigger the Hulk is more awesome, and this is probably as big as I get. If there was a Hulk bigger than this one, I'd be like, okay, maybe he's a little bit too big, but I love this size comparison right here next to Daredevil, right? Let's go ahead and look at him next to the new NECA Defenders of the Earth Phantom. NECA's a little larger scale, but even then, if you got larger scale action figures, Hulk is still towering over him. That's why I like this Hulk so much. Right, let's look at him next to NECA cartoon Donatello. Of course, the turtles are supposed to be short, but if you want to do a team up on an all green team, go for it. Still works awesome to me. Let's look at him next to others. Let's look at him next to Mesco Judge Dredd. Again, another 6-inch scale figure, still works. And let's look at him next to one of his co-workers in the Avengers, the 80th anniversary Captain America. So when I think of Hulk, guys, I think of that classic scene from the first Avengers, Hulk Smash. And this size variant just looks better to me than the Marvel Legends one. And I love the Marvel Legends one, don't get me wrong. But when it comes about size and even the shade of green, I don't know. This is just going to beat this one every time. All right? Thank you guys for watching. Make sure to subscribe. I'm going to upload a couple more videos right now. Thank you.